What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so you may recall the other day I did a video about the report that came out from the special counsel from the Department of Justice investigation on the classified, I believe it was the classified documents that were in the possession of Joe Biden, the President of the United States. It's interesting that the mainstream left-wing elitist media spent years talking about Donald Trump, and rightfully so, but they've tried to cover up the fact that Joe Biden himself had classified documents in his possession. Now, the special counsel came out and said that he did not find that President Biden was criminally guilty of any charges, but that's not what many people are talking about. What people are talking about is that the special counsel, who's spent a lot of time talking to President Biden in an impartial manner, has come out and said that he was completely surprised at how poor President Biden's memory is. And so much so that he said that Biden forgot who world leaders were. He in his mind, he thought at times that Helmut Kohl, who's been dead for years, was the Chancellor of Germany. He thought that the current French president was Francois Mitterrand, who, if you recall, Francois Mitterrand died in 1996. Most shockingly, Joe Biden could not recall when his son Beau died. He also couldn't recall exactly when he was vice president. He couldn't recall. His mind, his memory is that poor. So word has come out now that for the second year in a row, the Biden administration has declined to do I think it's a pre-Super Bowl interview. It's either pre-Super Bowl or post-Super Bowl interview. Now, I'm not sure whether it would be on NBC or CBS. I don't know. But usually, many presidents, I should say, will do an interview when they have a large audience like that on the Super Bowl. And usually these questions are softball questions. They're not tough policy questions. They're softball. So due to the fact that for the second year in a row, the Biden administration has declined that the president participate in these relatively easy interviews, is an indication of how poorly they feel confidence in Joe Biden giving an interview that will pass the smell test. This is alarming. This is alarming because you have to wonder, how is he going to perform? Because the nomination is going to be his. He don't have to lift a finger. He don't have to lift a finger as president. Because most voters are going to come out and just vote for Biden anyway. The media has locked out any minor party candidates for the Democratic nomination. That's why you have RFK running just independent rather than challenging for a nomination, because the elitist left-wing media was pretty much locking him out anyway. Although there are some things about RFK Jr. that I don't like myself particularly now. But anyway, be that as it may, you have to wonder how Joe Biden is going to perform during the general election campaign. He was a gaffe machine when he was mentally competent. How is he going to perform now with his mental cognition in deterioration stage? And you have to wonder how he's going to perform in these debates. Because even in controlled settings, when he knows what the questions are, he often still self-implodes. Even with a teleprompter, he makes mistakes. So I don't think this bodes well for Trump. For Biden at this point, man. Now, at the same time, I don't think that former President Trump has it in the bag either, because one bad sign for Trump is if you look at these polls, even though he's leading Biden in most of these states, in a lot of states, even when he's leading Biden, he's well under 50%, which means that there's still a lot of undecided voters out there. And until Trump is polling more than over 50% in a lot of these states, see, this is the thing about Trump. Trump does not have to. The point I'm going to make is it's still not sold up for Trump. However, because of the nature of the popular vote distribution, Trump does not necessarily have to ever lead. He doesn't necessarily even have to lead in the national polling, let alone get 50% of the vote. Biden kind of does, because I think if Biden gets under 50% of the vote nationally, hypothetically, he'll probably lose. Whereas Trump could get 47% of the vote and still win. Why is that the case? Because of the popular vote distribution. New York State, California are so heavily Democratic that you can expect any standard Democrat to get 60% of the vote in California. Last time I think there were 17 million votes cast in California. Last election I think there were something like 10 million votes or 11 million votes, somewhere around that range, 10 million votes or so cast in New York. So you have 25 to 27 million votes that's going to come from those two states. And on average, the Democrats are going to get somewhere around 60% of those votes. So that's a million plus. Those are millions and millions of votes that Republicans are going to be in the red. So in the other 48 states, even if Trump has a slight lead over Biden, those two states are enough to give Biden a massive millions vote margin. You see what I'm saying now? You kind of get what I'm going with this? The other 48 states, Trump can win by a plurality of 2 million. But because of Biden's natural huge margin of victory in New York and California, where 25 plus million votes are going to be cast, so let's say he gets 6% of the vote, he can build up a 5-6 million vote lead there. So even if Biden wins the popular vote by 4 million, 5 million, Trump can still win. Even 6 million, Trump can still win. You see what I'm saying now? So anyway, that's one of the things you got to learn about polling. And if you know anything about elections and current election cycles. So don't let them fool you if come election day or late in this campaign, if Trump is down by 3 points or 2 points, that doesn't mean the election is over. Because this isn't 2000 when we were a lot less polarized. You know what I'm saying? When Gore and Bush came in pretty much tied in the popular vote. I think Gore won by 540,000 but still lost. We're a lot more polarized than we were back then. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.